Hi everyone, and welcome to Homestead Rewind. Last night it rained really hard and the wind blew very strong. I noticed a few days ago that the walnuts are starting to fall out of the trees. Today I'm going to go out and see if I can forage for some fire starting wood and also for some walnuts. When we get back, I want to show you my camper garden, so come along with me.
She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift and hope that you'll take it into her side. La 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 la.
Welcome to the jungle. So, I'm still foraging, getting prepared, stocking up on things that I can. Just because I'm in a campground is not going to stop me from trying to get prepared for this winter. My garden is doing really good. Okay guys, there's my tomatoes. As you can see, I've got a pretty good size one on there. Now my tomatoes are later than everybody else's. You want to remember, I planted them later, but they're still growing. This is the tomato plant I planted and did not mulch, so it's way far behind the rest of them. It's just now starting to bloom. The pepper plant's still living. It just doesn't look right to me. I don't know, but I do have peppers on there. Those are supposed to be chocolate peppers. My cucumber's going crazy. I believe this is one of the lemon cucumbers, the little round cucumbers. I finally have started getting some bigger pollinators in here. I was talking to some friends that are also growing squash across the park, and they said, "Are you guys getting any squash?" And I said, "No," and I think it really is because the park gets sprayed in the early spring, and all we have is small pollinators. But now that some of the spray has wore off, we're starting to see the bigger pollinators, and I'm hoping that those pollinators will go ahead and pollinate the squash, and maybe I can get some squash then. Hopefully those are patty pans. So, the plant that I thought was an eggplant is actually an okra plant. I didn't plant okra, so I don't know why that's growing. Here is my eggplant. It's blooming, but still no eggplants. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. There's still some growing time left. Look at my purple green beans, guys. They are long, and I've been picking all along with those. And of course, I never will have enough to harvest, like to say to can, but I am picking them and taking them in and making dilly beans out of them. It's really curious. When you put those beans in vinegar, they turn white. They're like a really, really light pink. And they're still blooming, so I'm just going to keep picking them and putting them in my jar and making dilly beans out of them. Got several other cucumber plants that I planted late. Oh, I never did get around to showing you the potatoes. I did get a handful of very small potatoes out of there, but I think that, for one, I planted them too late, and I harvested them too early. I do, however, still have these potato plants growing, and I'm just gonna pull one of those up right now and see what's on it. Well, I've got a root there. Digging down. Oh, a potato. Oh my. There's another one. That's an acorn. Another potato. Let's pull this one up. Oh, there's a little tiny one on there. I can feel down in there. Oh, there's a big one. That's a nice potato. This is in a 5-gallon bucket, guys. I grew this in a 5-gallon bucket. Let's see what else. Oh, nice. There's a couple nice ones. So, I successfully grew potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. That's pretty neat. Later on, I will dig in there and see what else. See if we got any more in there. My comfrey plant is doing great. And so is my knee. That treatment, I applied it 4 times, I think. And my knee has not swelled back up. It's been over a week now. Remember my tomato plant that was growing and I topped? Well, this is it. It kept growing even though I topped it, and it fell over. But that's been like that for several weeks now. It's still ripening tomatoes, still growing. This is a tomato that I started from seed. I'm gonna have nice tomatoes on it. My bell peppers, they're doing good. I started these from seed, and remember, these are the ones that I put the Vicks or the vapor rub around the rim to keep the bugs off, and it's worked so far. I believe this is a banana pepper, and the other day I picked one off and put it on the grill and roasted it. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. Hi. My purple bell peppers, they're doing good. Alrighty, let's look at the ferns. As you can see, they're all doing really, really good. It is truly like a jungle here. Everybody's making fun of me. This tomato plant has sat in this very filtered sunlight ever since it was born. And you can see it's starting to bloom. There are some blooms starting to get on it, but it's so pretty and green. We'll see if I actually get some tomatoes off of it. It's grown good. It's big. This is the sweet potatoes. They vined right up the trellis there. I'm anxious to see if I get sweet potatoes out of this too. Oh, by the way, guys, I planted a ginger root, and that's what that is. It's growing. I just planted a ginger root that I bought up at the road up at Andy's too in Union. It's a fresh food market. So let me tell you about my free orchard. One of the employees here at the park had to leave suddenly, and she couldn't take her plants with her, and she had been in limbo for quite a while coming in and out of the park and got behind on watering her fruit plants, and she asked me if I would rescue them for her, so I did. And as a result, I ended up with a grafted apple tree. This is a 5-in-1 apple tree. I don't have them memorized, so I'm going to read it off. This tree will produce Jonna Gold, Gala apples, Fiji apples, Brayburn, see these are apples I've never even heard of, Brayburn apples, and Granny Smith apples. Supposedly this tree will grow all those different kinds of apples. But when I got it here, I put some more mulch in it, and I put some plant spikes in there, and they started growing new leaves. And some of these old leaves, you can see they're not in great shape, but they started growing new leaves, and then they bloomed. And so did this pear tree over here. This is a dwarf kefir pear tree. I hope I'm saying that right. Like I said, I've never grown trees before. I've never had fruit trees. I don't know the first thing about it. And any help that you guys can give me, just put it down there in the comments so that I can figure out what I need to do with these trees. I don't know. I got in touch with some people over at Doug and Stacy's Off-Grid Homestead. A gentleman on there told me that, who has a small orchard, told me to cut all those blooms off and plant the trees this fall after they've gone dormant. So if anybody has any helpful advice towards that, let me know, because I really am at a loss. Back here in the back, she had a blueberry plant, and I'm not sure if that blueberry plant's going to live or not. It does have leaves. I don't know much about growing blueberries, so if anybody out there knows, put it in the comments and let me know some tips, helpful tips on growing blueberries. Now, come over here. This tree right here is an orange tree. Let's see, let me look on the tag, make sure I'm saying right. And you can see all the new growth since I've gotten it. I mean, it was only down to here, and I'm not sure. I think I probably need to prune these back. These are not going to be able to be kept outside or planted outside. I'll have to keep them in at least a greenhouse when I get home. But let me look. I think, no, that's the orange tree back there. There's the orange tree, and it's got new growth on it too since I got it. So that must mean this is the lemon tree. This is the lemon tree, and this is the lime tree. And I think this is a key lime tree. And this is supposed to be a dwarf peach tree. And I don't know if I should plant that outside or leave it inside, being that it's dwarf. I just don't know. If you guys have any answers, put it in the comments. Well, I think that's all I have for today. I do have some new videos in the works right now. My daughter wanted me to do a video on frying chicken, and hopefully in the near future I can get to that for her. Did you see my banana nut bread video that I just posted a few days ago? Go check that out if you haven't. As always, like this video. It really does help towards my YouTube ratings. And if you know somebody that would be interested in watching our homestead journey, go ahead and share this video with them. Until next time, love and peace.